Welcome back. Now this video's on our circle equation, questions 7, 8, and 9. Let's do it. If you see this picture, we see that if this is the origin, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you went over 3 and down 2. It looks like our radius is 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 up, 2 down, definitely radius 2. So we can write our equation from this information, x minus 3, y plus 2, radius 2 squared. Now keep in mind, this won't be there on the test, this template, so you will need to make sure you're including these symbols in your final answer. Another way to show this, because Desmos would also graph the same exact picture, is if you wrote that. Notice though, don't write 4 squared, because again, the radius is 2, and that's the way it would look if the radius were 4. Okay, good start. Now let's see if I had the distance between the center, -8, 1, and the end, -4, 1. So I'm going to draw a little graph here just to kind of get my bearings. It says the center is at -8, +1, -8, +1, and an end point or a part on the circle is at -4, +3. So hopefully you're picking up on the fact that what they're describing is your radius. And you can kind of imagine that that must be where the circle is. So they've told us that the center is at -8, 1, and that one of the dots on our circle is at -4, 3. So that's got to be our radius. So if we knew the distance between these 2 points, that would in fact be our radius. So let's do it. -4 minus -8 is +4, and we're going to square it. 3 minus 1 is 2, and we're going to square it. Now whether you got -4 or +4, you're still going to square it, and you'll definitely get 16. And again, remember there's a square root sign across all this. So what's inside here, 2 times 2 is 4. So what's inside our square root sign is, it looks like 20. So some students need something a little more tangible. It appears that this is about 4.47. So looking at our picture, if this distance is 4, this distance looks a little longer than that, and that makes sense. So that is how long my radius is. So technically, the most exact answer would be this. That is my radius, but I could also put that because it's approximately that number. My center, I just need to copy over here. So the center is -8, 1. Now I have all my ingredients to put my equation. So I get x plus 8, y minus 1, square root of 20 is my radius, squared. Now to some that looks a little odd, but I would take that as an answer. So let's clean it up just one little bit, because I think on the EOC they'll do that too. So I have my left side of the equation, and interesting, the square root of 20 squared, something really magical happens. So the square root of 20, that's our radius, and when I square it, I get back to 20. So notice that could be another possible answer. Both this and that in Desmos will give you this picture. Awesome. Next question. So take a minute, maybe pause the video, make sure you transfer this information, and then complete the problem and check your answer. So hopefully you got center 4, 3, radius 7, because 7 squared is 49. Okay, here, hopefully you got -4, +9, and the radius is 3, because 3 squared would give you 9. Okay, so did this circle dilate? Did it get bigger or smaller? It looks to me that it was 7 and now it's 3. So it's smaller. 3 over 7. Now I could kind of calculate how much 3 divided by 7 is 40. So it got 43% smaller. That's less than 100. That's definitely smaller. Okay. So it shrunk. Now let's look at our coordinates. It was at 4, 3, but now it's at negative 4, 9. So let's think about this for a minute. It was at 4 in the x, but now it's at negative 4. So I definitely, when I go from positive 4 to negative 4, I move left 8. So technically what we're doing here is we're subtracting. So what we should write here is this notation, x minus 8, which means to the left, 8. And here, 9 minus 3 is 6, so y is going up. Let's make sure that makes sense. I was at 3 in the y, now I'm at 9 in the y. Yep, that makes sense. I went up 6. Great job. Check out the last video for the 4th learning goal, the grandma table type questions.